Hi there guys, I hope you have had a good day. So, Roy Jones Jr. versus Mike Tyson, 28th of November. An exhibition that is planned to be an exhibition, but ultimately this fight is going to catch fire at some point. You can guarantee it. And Roy Jones Jr. has explained if Mike Tyson drops him, then it's all out war. So you can expect a cagey opening where both fighters will try and feel one another out. But as soon as someone lands, as soon as one punch gets through, that's not going to be something that the other guy is going to like. I mean, if Mike Tyson hits Roy Jones, like he said, then Roy Jones is going to come back and fight fire with fire. Same applies with Mike Tyson. Can you imagine if Roy Jones clocks him one, maybe even hurts Mike Tyson? Then it's going to be all out war. So this is labelled an exhibition, but don't expect that when these two get between the ropes. And just because these two are a little bit older now, they both have been retired for some time, that doesn't mean anything. They are both at the same point, they are both a similar age, had similar experiences in the ring. So ultimately you can expect two legends of the sport with big egos to get between the ropes and just have a fight. I know it is labelled to be not a professional fight, and it won't count towards their respected boxing records, but it is a fight after all, against two fighters who know how to fight, not how to have an exhibition. So what can we expect from this fight? Can we expect all-out warfare from the first bell? Well, I don't think so. I think it's going to take one of them to land one significant punch, and then it will catch fire. So that might take, I don't know, 30 seconds. Because you can see the way that Mike Tyson is training, coming forward ferociously with that bobbing and weaving style, trying not to get hit but landing significant punches himself. The style that he made so famous during his career. So you can't really expect that to sell well as an exhibition fight. You cannot expect Mike Tyson to do that, then not land punches. So Mike Tyson's style is by no means made for an exhibition bout. Same as Roy Jones Jr. because he taunts his opponents. He doesn't necessarily just box them and put on a clinique. The way that Roy Jones taunts his opponents is part of his boxing plan, part of his boxing finesse. Because he does that, then he does something crazy like leaps in with a lead left hook or something like that. But his footwork, his positioning, his timing, and his speed, his balance, all of that is just too good for the opponent. And he gets away with it time and time again. That is what made Roy Jones Jr. so incredible as a boxer. So ultimately you have two styles that are made for a good fight and two egos that are made to go together. Because in this fight, I mean, Roy Jones, if he taunts Mike Tyson and lands a lead left hook or something like that and drifts off to the side, uses his fancy footwork and movement, because obviously he's not going to have the same kind of movement and balance that he did in his prime. But then again, he's not in his prime. Neither is Mike Tyson. So they both are showing shades of the past. What they were able to do, they can still do it, just not with the same kind of tenacity, balance, speed and movement that they would do in their prime. They're not going to be able to. But the thing is about that is they are both at that same level. I mean, Mike Tyson doesn't have any more left than what Roy Jones Jr. does. So they are at that same stage, meaning that their abilities will match up quite well in this fight. Roy Jones will not look like Roy Jones of the past, but his skills and abilities of the past will be there on display against Mike Tyson, and likewise for Tyson against Roy Jones. Now, Roy Jones is working on his combinations and he looks fast and powerful. Mike Tyson coming forward with that bobbing and weaving style on the pads with his trainer, that has attracted a lot of attention over the summer. Mike Tyson looks in an incredible shape, so does Roy Jones, and that's not even considering their age. They both just look in incredible condition, especially considering they have a fight in November. And I just cannot wait to see this matchup. I cannot wait to see how Mike Tyson deals with the fact that Roy Jones is going to be boxing him. Roy Jones will be landing significant power shots that he picks perfectly, because the thing is about Roy Jones, when he does get behind his boxing, like many other fighters have done, they kind of pick their shots and it's like a 1-2 and there's not a lot of power in those punches. Roy Jones was someone who could box like that, but every single punch that he threw was significant. It had a significant amount of power in it. It was meant to cause damage. It wasn't like he was getting behind his boxing and just throwing pity-patty shots. It was never like that for Roy Jones. Every single punch had meaning. Every single punch was meant to cause an effect on his opponent, and the same thing applies with Mike Tyson. Both good boxers, but extremely powerful and fast, and we will see how that pans out on November 28th. Who has more left? Who can implement their style in a better way in this exhibition fight? Not so much an exhibition when these two get between the ropes. Guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below, leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.